From time to time, I like to dive into a strategy RPG, and in today's video, we're talking about Spitfire Interactive's latest superhero strategy RPG, Capes. Now, the code was provided to me to allow me to gather my thoughts and opinions and the footage you are seeing in today's video, but that does not affect any of my thoughts and opinions you're going to hear. These are my thoughts and opinions opinions alone. So with that all being said, what is up guys, Jen here, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. As always, got you covered with timestamps, so if there's a certain section you want to skip to learn about Capes, feel free to do so. All I ask is for you to support the channel and hit the thumbs up button. So I'm going to start off straight off the bat by reading a synopsis of Capes. What is this game about? Well, get ready because I'm about to tell you. 20 years ago, the supervillains won. Since then, they've created a dystopian city where developing superpowers is a crime. Nobody has managed to slow them down until now. Capes is a turn-based superhero strategy game where you build a team of heroes and fight to take back the city. Played across a series of campaign and patrol missions, choose to push forward with the story or take the time to explore side missions, unlock more heroes, earn skill points, complete challenges, and learn more about your heroes' lives. So we have a strategy RPG. We have something that I am also a fan of, which is superheroes. We've crammed them together and we have Capes. So me personally, I'm in for a good time. But you're probably thinking, Jen, this just looks like XCOM but with superheroes. And to a certain extent, yes, you're right. It definitely takes inspiration from the XCOM series, but it's not focused on the RNG and the cover-based mechanics that XCOM comes with. It's more focused on the close combat, the team-ups, and the kind of smart positioning across the battlefield. And we'll talk more about gameplay in just a second, but I want to talk about my personal opinions on the story and the characters. Now, the story and the universe is original and its characters are written by Morgan Jaffet, who you might know from other superhero games like Freedom Force and Teen Titans. Villains have won. They have taken over and we need to take back the city. And we start off small with just two superheroes being led by Doctrine. And as we progress, we find more heroes, we learn a little bit more about them, and we slowly take back that city. The world certainly does remind me of classic comic book series like Watchmen's or Days of Future Past, with the way that the villains and the darkness has taken over this city. Now, the story isn't grandiose, it's true and to the point, but the characters, I feel, really get their moments not through the main story but through the side missions and just this little feature in the dossiers section of which you unlock when you do certain requirements where the characters have one-on-one interactions. I witnessed one between Mindfire and Fawcett, and I really liked it and it made me grow to like the characters a little bit more. I want more interactions like this, and it can get a bit tough to catch up with the changing of styles. I really like the comic book style with the speech bubbles. Sometimes we have the side cutscenes where they really look like comic book characters, and then we have the kind of in-engine cutscenes. If everything was done in that comic book style, I would say we have a winner here. But again, it doesn't take away from the story, but it doesn't glorify it either. It's just nice and easy level. You get what you need to be done, but the characters do shine in those subsections. Another example is I was doing a side mission for Rebound where she had to infiltrate a base and just get some information on a laptop, and she came across one of her old friends and they had a bit of an interaction, and I learned more about Rebound and I came to grow to like Rebound just that little bit more just with those interactions. I just want more of this because at the end of the day, when you've got a superhero game, it's about your superheroes, but I guess as well it's about your gameplay, and Capes shines the most with its gameplay. Now, before we get into the actual tactical combat, let's talk about the menu that we're going to become quite familiar with, and that's between missions, where we get to customize our characters, spend our SP that we've gained. We get to look through dossiers to get information on characters we've met along the way, and we get to do some side missions and some simulations as well. I would absolutely love it if this was something that we could customize. We get introduced to like a basement of all the chairs and the big table that the superheroes get to kind of sit around at the beginning of the game. I would love if this was like the customization menu. This is a base that we get to customize ourselves, so each player has a unique superhero base, because that's what I love about superheroes. They're secret bases. If I had control over the customization, oh, that would be so nice. But the menu that we have doesn't take away from what it does. I'm just wanting something a bit more flashier, I guess you could say. But everything you need to do to set up for battle is here in this menu, and it's pretty easy to kind of sift through and get things sorted out, ready for battle. So let's talk about battles. And you know what? This is where it grabbed me. I just wanted to keep on going because I was learning so much. Usually when a game throws a tutorial at me every 5 seconds, I get frustrated and I want to move on. But the way that Capes does it is quite nice. It kind of introduces it slowly. We start off with Fawcett. He is essentially your tank. You want to make sure that his defense is up and he's pulling the enemies towards you. So it moved on to Rebound. She is more of my DPS, a sneaky DPS at that. So I need to make sure that I'm positioned behind Fawcett and making sure I get my attacks done. As soon as it taught me about that, didn't need to tell me much more. Same with Mindfire. He's your ranged magical DPS. So you make sure you keep your distance. He does a few debuffs here and there. Again, it tells you about it, leaves you to it to experiment. It does tell you about other mechanics in the game, like the team up attacks, which is truly unique because we can create some powerful synergies here. For example, there is a great one between Mindfire and Rebound, where essentially she does her backstab attack, but it doesn't matter where the enemy's facing, you're still getting that backstab bonus, which can really do, again, more damage. It could tick one of your objectives off a lot quicker, and if it's got the vulnerable debuff from Mindfire on, you're gonna have a pretty good time with your damage numbers. I find that this game is very easy to learn but difficult to master, and I found that out quite early on, because I went in very confident into this battle where we had to protect another hero that we met. We needed to make sure that they didn't go down. And I was like, you know what? I've got this. So I took my time, but it was the wrong approach. I like the kind of puzzle we need to figure out. So as soon as I know what I needed to do, I needed to go, instead of damaging the enemies and disarming the enemies near me, I needed to go over to where the other hero was, distract the enemies, taunt them my way, crystallize them, do whatever I need to do, stop them in their tracks, and then slowly pick them off one by one with Rebound. And with the additional disarms from Mindfire and the vulnerability from Mindfire, I had a good time and did it again. But then the next battle, thought I had it again. It's that learning experience and really getting to grips with your characters. And one thing that I love is the ultimates. These ultimates are nice, flashy animations. You can really change the tide of battle with these, and they're so satisfying to watch. What I'm saying now is probably just scratching the surface of what you can do with Capes, and there's probably more I need to learn, but the way the game is kind of showing me how to do it and really getting me to experiment has been great so far. One thing that I love about anything superheroes is music, and I feel that Capes has music, but it's very subtle and it's not very prominent. I would love a bit more French horn here and there, or when I'm doing an ultimate attack, maybe throw in some guitar and some strings and some just epicness, and really make me feel like I am taking back this city again. What they have here doesn't take away from the game whatsoever. The game, the meat is there, and I had a good time. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to get more heroes, and I'm hoping that I can get all of the achievements that are available on this game. So that's about it from me. That is Capes in a nice brief nutshell. I really highly recommend you check it out for yourselves. If you like yourselves a strategy RPG, but you don't want to be overwhelmed with additional stuff like RNG and taking cover and really kind of like having too many things at your disposal, have a look at Capes, because I think you're going to have a good time with this one. I appreciate your time. If you've tried out Capes, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content, hit that notification bell, and until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.